Oh, yeah.
Welcome, fanboys and fangirls.
Wahoo!
Thank you, Tyler, for saving the production. To my left here is Tyler.
'Tis I.
To his left is Luke.
'Tis he.
And we're here to talk about movies and trailers and stuff.
This is the most anticipated episode of the year. That's right. Brett is reviewing that Kraken movie.
Ha! I forgot you did
Ruby
see that.
Gilman, Teenage Kraken.
Oh, man. Fire me up. I'm so glad I showed up tonight. This is it, man. I don't even care if we talk about Indiana Jones. We got to talk about Teenage Kraken.
Well, before we talk about either of those, we need to talk about our new trailers.
Do we have to talk about all the trailers?
We've got
there's really only one to talk about.
We've got to hit on... We'll save the best for last. I promise we'll rapid fire through the first couple.
So Five Nights at Freddy's last.
Absolutely. If that's
Okay.
the one you want to talk about last, that's
Cool.
the one we'll talk about last.
I'm going to see if I can get Brett off his game tonight.
You've already gotten me so off my game. To begin, the first new trailer I saw, I think it actually came out 2 weeks ago, but we didn't talk about it. There was a new They Cloned Tyrone trailer with this stars John Boyega and Jamie Foxx and other awesome people, and it's a big thumbs up. This is coming out on Netflix like really soon.
This movie looks so good.
Maybe this weekend. It's really soon. It's in July.
Awesome.
I think it's maybe this weekend.
Awesome.
I cannot wait.
Looks fantastic.
Agreed. Looks hilarious
It's gonna be so fun.
and yeah, ridiculous. The next one, The Baker, starring Ron Perlman.
I didn't see this
Ron the Baker Perlman.
Ron the Baker, the butcher becomes the baker.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Um,
Harvey Keitel's going crazy in that movie.
as soon as I saw
I didn't know he
Harvey
was still acting,
Keitel,
I'm gonna
I
be
was
honest.
like, all right, let's see what this is gonna be. Look, Ron Perlman has now entered the stage of his career where
He's in the Neeson stage.
he's taking the Liam Neeson kind of jobs. Ironically enough, Liam Neeson had a new trailer for a new movie out this week as well. But The Baker gets a solid sideways thumb, mostly because Ron Perlman's still, he's still fun to watch.
It says it's a 2022 movie. It also has a 9.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
That is not the right movie, sir.
It's the right poster.
Is it? I wonder if it came out in 2022 as like a real limited thing or festivals.
Is he taking a drug-filled loaf of bread somewhere?
Now he's protecting his granddaughter.
He's yeah.
What the heck?
He just owns a bakery.
Why is this trailer just now coming out? I'm so confused. Well, maybe next week I'll have to review The Baker.
Upcoming for...
Succubus?
It doesn't have anything about that for upcoming. But it's in 2022.
I'm so confused. Okay, hold on.
Brett out here reviewing year-old movie or trailers.
That'd be incredibly on brand for me.
Looks like we've got another mystery on our hands.
I'm gonna do 2023.
2008?
Yeah, here's the trailer.
Yeah, I understand the trailers out there.
This is the same
It doesn't come.
synopsis.
Maybe they just remade it.
They just
later.
re-released it.
It's a prequel.
It came out and no one saw it, so they're just re-releasing it like nothing ever happened. I would love that, actually. July 28 is what AMC Theater
Is this
says.
it right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 week ago.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I don't know, man.
I love it.
Who knows
I
when
need
this
this mystery
movie...
solved.
This
What happened to the Baker 2022?
Yes.
Let's look
Okay.
at Regal and see when it
One that I know has... Actually, I don't. I shouldn't say that. I do not know if this movie has already been released or not. Maybe it also came out in 2022. Retribution
Oh, I've seen
with
this movie.
Liam Neeson. Well, to be fair, it's a Liam Neeson...
Yeah, I've seen it.
Actually, you have seen it already. It's just slightly reskinned.
Yeah, we've all seen it.
This one, Liam Neeson one gets a thumbs down from me. I don't think either of you actually saw it.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah, you said there was a new Liam Neeson
Neeson.
trailer, and I was like, I don't need.
Tyler,
Sure,
thumbs
you
up,
watch
thumbs
it.
down.
You know what? Thumbs up.
I'm gonna thumbs down it. I don't know. It looks like a Liam Neeson movie.
I'm gonna thumbs up because Liam Neeson.
If they're your thing, you'll probably enjoy it.
Liam Neeson is out here putting in work.
You're not wrong.
People obviously keep watching him, so he's gonna keep making them, and then it will be re-released next year.
I hope so. As a TV show.
No, they're just gonna re-release it again because nobody saw it. It's like the Baker.
Just like the Baker. Okay. Finally, I guess we have the one Tyler's most excited about. Five Nights at Freddy's. Tyler, what do you think?
Big sideways stuff.
Oh,
Not
coming
actually-
in
I don't
hot
actually care
with the
about this.
sideways
You know
thumb.
what I love about this trailer? I don't have to see the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never played the game. I know nothing about the game. You know what? Now I do, because I'm pretty sure they did both reveals. Can I
Yeah.
guess what
Yeah.
they are?
Sure, I don't know.
That the ghosts are the kids or whatever, but it looked like his little kid sister gets away, but he's possessing the bear now. That's what I gathered from it.
Never played the game, don't know anything about it. Saw that the trailer was out, watched the trailer, and I was like, yep.
The
I-
last
I
shot
gotta
of-
see this.
The
Yeah,
last shot of
yeah.
the trailer is the little girl getting in a taxi and leaving with the big possessed bear. So it's like, what else could it be? Let me know if I'm right.
Maybe-
I won't watch it.
Maybe we have to go watch it. So you
yeah,
can find out if
absolutely.
you're right.
You can let me
Absolutely.
know.
I'm not going to see that. I'll only go if we all go.
We're all
If
going.
I'm going to be subjected to
I'm-
that torture, you are also joining me.
I'm gonna make sure this happens now.
Oh, no.
What if it comes out on the same weekend where something actually
Good comes
good
out.
comes
Double
out?
feature. Double
What if
feature,
it
baby.
comes out and it's at like 98% on Rotten Tomatoes?
What if it comes out on the same weekend as Dune Part 2?
Then I
it'll
do not
die.
give a flying
I don't
fish
care.
sandwich.
Don't care one
We
bit.
did also get a Dune Part 2 trailer. Big thumbs up. That looks awesome.
Two of them.
Sounds awesome. All of the
The
actors
goosebumps you get
look
when you watch
incredible.
it are awesome.
I love the cinematography.
The
and
music.
The music. What a trailer.
It looks so good.
What
And
a freaking trailer.
I guess we can just talk about this now too. It was also announced that the third movie is going to be made,
There's going
Supposedly.
to be a third movie.
and it's
Yeah.
going to be Dune Messiah,
Tyler, how do you feel about
the
that?
sequel book.
Look at him. He's rubbing his eyes.
I trust Denny.
If Denny is directing it, yeah.
I trust Denny. But I will say, if you've read Dune and not Dune Messiah, stop. Just stop now. If you've not read this and you're interested in reading it, just read Dune. Be done there. Because it gets worse.
See, I'm about
Gets real
a
weird.
quarter of the way through Dune. I think I'm going to quit reading Dune and just read Dune Messiah.
You would be so confused. You'd be like, "What is happening?" I guess we can talk about the trailer. Before they announced that they were going to do Dune Messiah, after watching the trailer, they kind of tee it up with Florence Pugh's character. She's really critical to Messiah. So her being in this, it's like, oh yeah, they're going to do that. They're going to do this thing. Yeah,
Maybe it'll work better in a visual format.
it's.
Maybe they will change the story.
I think they're going to change the story because it's not a.
Good book.
No, it's a good book, but I just don't think it would be a good movie.
Is it not satisfying?
Not really.
Just makes you go,
I would love to tell you guys how it ends, but
but don't.
I don't want to spoil the movie that's 5 years away. So, it's it's a book for sure. It's short. That's nice. It'll probably just be one movie. I've not read Children of Dune yet, but I'm working on it. Because what's going to happen is Dune's going to come out. We're all going to go see it, and I'm going to be like, man, I want to spend more time with Arrakis. And then I'm going to read Children of Dune, I'm going to be like,
Logan read it. He said it like ruined the whole series.
Oh no.
it gets progressively worse from what I've heard. But see, then there's the part of me that's like, this is a train wreck. I kind of want to keep seeing how bad it gets.
We'll always have Dune 1. Even if Dune Part 2 is horrible, we'll have Dune Part 1.
Dune Part 2 will be good. I have no doubts there. We're getting into like the action side of Dune now. If any of the first book was going to be bad, it would be the first one, and it wasn't. So they're going to be just fine.
Awesome. Can't
Thumbs
wait.
up. 2 thumbs up.
When's that come out? November?
I think so.
This year. We've got quite a few big sci-fi movies coming out this year.
Dude got the trailer for The Creator again.
Creator.
The Creator,
Rebel
and then
Moon.
Rebel Moon.
Are we all gonna get together to watch Rebel Moon?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're getting 2 directors. I wanted to make Star Wars, but I couldn't.
So I made Star Wars.
Even though
and one of them
Snyder was no, you can't make this. So he's like, okay, I'll just make my own movie. And Gareth, who's
Edwards.
Okay,
Godzilla boy.
yeah, Godzilla man. Who also he did Rogue One, most of Rogue One, a lot of Rogue One, but didn't finish Rogue One. Now it's getting to do his little offshoot thing.
Yeah.
I think The Creator looks awesome though.
I wish they would just release a trailer for Rebel Moon.
No, you gotta build that hype, man.
Yeah. Instead, we're getting
There-
magazine interviews.
We did get
and stuff.
some behind the scenes or some like not set photos,
Stills.
staged stills, things like that for publications this week, and
Yeah.
I think they look interesting. I'm not gonna
You
dump
excited to
on
see
this
Blood
movie
Axe?
before I see
Is
it.
that Ray?
Yeah.
That's his character's name.
Blood Axe.
Luke
Yep.
told me his name was Blood Axe, and I didn't believe him. I thought he was literally just throwing out a random. That's something Zack Snyder would name a character. I was like, yeah, you're right.
me
no,
update my
that's
campaign
literally what
notes.
they named him. Oh dear.
You guys are gonna meet a character in D&D named Blood Axe before too long. It's gonna be like, what just happened?
The crossover we didn't know we needed.
There will be a space adventure, and you would just be living through that movie.
Well, all right. Is that all the trailers? I think that's all the trailers.
Sure.
Go watch the Dune trailer again if you haven't.
There was a Suicide Squad anime trailer.
Oh yeah, that looked kind of cool.
I didn't watch the trailer. I just saw the announcement.
I didn't know it was a series, which makes me happy.
Oh, it's a show.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I didn't like Batman Ninja.
Is it the same studio?
I have no idea. But I'm down for another Batman anime thing. Just different versions of Batman and DC characters are super cool. I'll talk about that later too.
No, I agree.
Oh.
Agree. All right. Well, then we can move on over
Dun, 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 dun,
to our
dun, dun,
Indiana
dun.
Jones and the Dial of
What's
Destiny.
that?
No, keep it going.
What's that meme? Dr. Pepper. What's this? Mr. Pibb. Dr. Pepper. Mountain Dew Code Red. I love that meme.
Indy is back. Harrison Ford is back for his 5th adventure.
Fifth and final adventure.
What did we say? 15 years after the last one. We had quite the break, and we had an even larger break between 3 and 4.
2008. 15 years.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, 15 years. So, what are our one sentence, maybe our tweet length impression of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny?
Solid, fun finale to Indy's story. First half was decent. Second half was a lot of fun. There's mine.
Mine, I would say this movie was a nice reminder of the days of the classic adventure film, and I enjoyed it a lot.
That's nice. Man, I feel like I should have been more prepared in my remarks. I think
Well, I
that
just literally copied my letterbox review.
charismatic Harrison Ford saves a pretty dull movie, and ultimately does remind me why I love the series. It's a film that I'm going to just kind of continue here, going on into some longer thoughts. It's a film that I think without Harrison Ford, or with a Harrison Ford that had more of the, I don't know, like Force Awakens Han Solo vibes. Like, he didn't show up. Like, he came for a paycheck, not because he loves the character. Like, you can tell he loves Indiana Jones, the character.
Mhm.
He really does. Here at, 80, 81, 82, however old he is, like, you can feel that he really does care about the character, really loves the character, and puts that effort in. if he shows up with a performance similar to something from like The Force Awakens, I don't think this movie works at all. That said, it does hit all of the classic Indiana Jones things. It does a few new things that I really enjoyed. There's a particular bit underwater, which was new for the Indiana Jones franchise, at least.
I didn't even think about that. It's like, oh yeah, it's the 70s, or the 60s, whenever it was. It's like technology's a lot different. Mm-hmm. They can do this stuff now.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't even think about that. Like in the movie, the Apollo 11 people are literally had just come back. Yeah. That's when it is. It's 1969. Good way to put in a date reference without going date.
Yeah.
They might have done that too, and I just don't remember. But yeah, that underwater bit was super cool.
Yeah,
I was a big fan.
Yeah. What were some of your guys' pros, cons? You want to go into some just more detailed general thoughts?
I'll go.
Yeah.
Luke's kind of the big Indiana Jones fan
I was
here.
super excited for this.
You were the one most excited for this film.
I was very excited. I also feel like I had the most real expectations out of anybody for this movie. Because I keep seeing people talk about it, and they're just like, what was that bit? And it's just like, yeah. And it's like, why was this bit bad? And it's just like, yeah. It's just like, these were all expected occurrences. My number one pro, though, is honestly just performances and not just Ford.
Sure.
I think Ford is awesome, and he's definitely the standout. He's great playing an aged Indy, and I think they use that very well, too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Phoebe Waller-Bridge is really good.
Yep.
It took me a little longer to grow to like her character, because she is just Indy, almost beat for beat from Temple of Doom. Like, she doesn't really care about people. She's in it for the money, has a kid sidekick.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I kind of see what you're doing here. But by the third act, I really liked her character.
Yeah.
I thought the kid was good.
Agreed.
I think Mads is always awesome. Mads Mikkelsen.
I like the way they use him too.
Yeah.
In this.
Mm-hmm.
And the same with Boyd Holbrook. Dude was kind of a loose cannon, and I loved it.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people talk about how the end of this movie is so ridiculous, and a lot of it had to do with Boyd Holbrook in the end of this movie. And all I keep saying to people is like, no, they tell you this the whole movie.
Yeah.
That this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, they're not
They're not trying to cover it up. Like, it's not a secret. Like, Boyd Holbrook is going to do what Boyd Holbrook does throughout this whole movie. And the thing that's going to happen, they're telling you from the first 20 minutes. They're like, this is what it does. And you're like, oh, we're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think it was that outlandish, honestly.
I don't think it's even outlandish compared to what we've gotten from other movies.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I
mean, we've gotten
the plot
voodoo stuff.
The plot device.
He literally had aliens in a UFO.
Yeah. The plot device in this, I think, is actually really clever.
Yeah.
It's a good way of introducing something that's. I'm going to be very careful not to try and not spoil anything here. To introduce something that's from a different civilization. I think that was good. I appreciated that. And B, make it almost... The other ones have been mythological or religious in tone, and this one plays more into like the science-y side of things.
Mm-hmm.
It may still feel a little like fringe science-y, but like that's the vibe they're going for, and I appreciated it. I liked it a lot. I thought it worked.
Yeah. Other pros for me outside of performances, it's not a cameo fest.
Yeah. No.
Like it really easily could have become.
Even when Solo shows up, like he drove him to the airport.
I was gonna say, I feel like
he was just helping his friend,
and I feel like it kind of fits.
Go to the airport
with what's going on. You're like, yeah, okay, cool. Like this works.
Yeah.
And then my last pro that I wrote down. Obviously, there's other things I like about the movie, but coordinating stunts that fit your cast really well. Like I think that was done. Like with Harrison Ford being as old as he is, this could have looked really bad. And I don't think it did.
Mhm.
Because I think the stunts and the set pieces they chose for this film are perfect for that aged Indy. Like, it works. It doesn't feel like, yeah, he could never do that.
They
Which
don't
is so
they don't
nice.
have him doing Tom Cruise-esque stunts.
No.
They have him
The bit
riding
where
on a
he is
horse
rock climbing
or-
was so funny.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't do this. My freaking knees and back.
My shoulders and my elbows.
I've been shot 9 times.
It is also funny to watch as someone who's like really into editing and understanding how films are edited. It was always fun for me, like just watching like the cut too, and like Harrison Ford's only ever taking like 5 steps, at most 5 steps in frame, either into frame or out of frame. Like he's slowing down or he's speeding up for a run, and then it's like it cuts to what is definitely a stuntman.
Yeah.
And it's fun, like you don't notice it except that you're like, okay, like
Other than
obviously
strategic
he's a
positioning.
he's a little older.
Yeah.
But they do a good job of still making you feel like that stuntman is a 80-year-old man.
Yeah.
You're just not making him do the stunts. Thank goodness.
Yeah. No, I think it's...
He'd be built different. Tom Cruise who?
Yeah, the backdrop for this age of Indy, it works.
Mm-hmm.
And I was worried about that.
Yeah.
I think that was my biggest fear going into this. It's like, Harrison Ford's pretty old. This could get pretty painful to watch, Samuel L. and Captain Marvel. But it didn't. It didn't feel that way. It felt really good. And I really liked that.
So they run.
Like their arms don't work anymore.
Just any old guy.
Yeah.
Truth. Luke, you have some other pros?
It's pretty generic pro, but we could probably go more into it in spoilers, which is just the second half.
Mm-hmm.
It really kicks up the Indiana Jones-iness.
Yeah.
But a big pro for me was the opening flashback.
Ooh.
I
Hot take. For me, I didn't like it.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I love watching Indiana Jones punch Nazis, and it's different than what we've seen before. All the other movies are before, and this one is at the end of the war.
Yeah. That was nice. That was a nice change of pace. It was a like, hey, they're losing, and why would Indiana Jones be there? Oh, he's trying to save artifacts, right?
Yeah.
Like that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good placement. It makes sense story wise.
I think the CG is both good and bad. There's parts where like it shows his face and it's just like, wow, that looks super good. And then other parts where maybe the lighting may have not been helping them, and it's like,
Yep.
okay, yeah, that's definitely a CG face.
Looks a little plastic.
There's a very far away shot where he's running on top of the train that's completely fake, and it's like, oof. I also think the opening, there is a double-edged sword to it though, and it's not a con, but it's a what if. And it's just, what if the movie would have been going for the spearhead?
Yeah.
I was super intrigued by that. It's like, this is the spear that the Roman soldier used to stab Jesus on the cross. It's just like, is that going to be involved? It's not. It's not involved.
I really enjoyed that red herring, actually.
Yeah.
I hope that, I don't know if that's a spoiler for anyone listening to this, that it's not further involved. Because it was a nice little, like, ooh, maybe they're doing, like, a duel thing? Like, what's actually important or whatnot? But, no, I think it worked well.
But yeah, I liked the train action sequence. I thought it was fun. The CGI is hit and miss. I just love how ridiculous Indiana Jones action scenes get. And I just love forgiving all the ways he gets out of dying.
Yeah.
And the opening of this movie was just awesome to me.
I actually really enjoyed the train bit of this.
The castle bit, though, you probably didn't.
The castle bit, overall, the whole prologue is just, it's too long. It's 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like a 20-minute prologue, for sure.
It's a lot. And I don't think, had this movie been made in the 80s, when it wasn't a CGI Harrison Ford, I think I would have loved it. I just got tired. I just could not stop seeing CGI face.
Well, if it would have been in the 80s, it would have started there and kept going.
Probably. But so that's more of like after that amount of time, the face really got to me.
Yeah.
I
think I'm just used to bad CGI face now.
Maybe
because Disney does it.
I did like. I've said I liked a lot of the train sequence, the whole like the artifact stuff at the beginning in the castle. I just think it just overstayed its welcome.
I kind of said it before. The first half of this movie to me is long, and that might be a part of it. That just the intro is long, and then there's a lot of
pads it. Yeah,
there's a lot of like side quests where you're just with Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character. I don't remember her name. Helena.
Helena.
Or with other people, and action sequences feel longer in the first half, like the horse chasing scene and all that. And I wasn't as invested in those. That makes sense.
I think so because it's those.
Yeah, the horse chase scene specifically, I was kind of like,
I'm
ready for this to be done.
The horse scene compared to the trike scene.
I think...
Like, I'd rather watch the trike scene because all of our characters are together.
Yeah. I would rather as well. My problem was the trike scene was the third chase scene we got in this movie. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of tired of chase scenes at this point. But also, like, what are you going to have Harrison Ford do? Like, those are the stunts he can do, or chase scenes.
Dual flip.
So it makes sense. And chase scenes are they're a staple of Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Like there is a lot of chase scenes in this movie, though.
But it's maybe a little overstuffed.
It's like aggressively chase scene heavy.
Yeah. So maybe a little bit of a con there for me.
I guess chase scenes are easier though for Indy because just that's what they do in the Fast and Furious movies.
Gotta get on their bike. A pro for me. Locations. I like the diverse number of locations, places we get to go here. From the castle and the train that we talked about, kind of the opening to New York, in the first act, and I won't spoil exactly where they go, but in the second and third. But I think it's nice. It feels world jumpy in a way that the first act of Indiana Jones movies usually feel, and it was nice to kind of keep that going throughout the second act.
You know what? I wonder if that's something that, like, I didn't think about, but subconsciously,
you got there.
Didn't even think about it. We don't travel by map till like halfway in the movie.
Yeah,
and that's usually like in the movie 2 or 3 times.
It was a nice. Yeah,
and like the map popped up, and I was like, "Yeah!"
But it didn't feel overused or too like, because that is the one of my big fears. This is a well-established IP. It has lots of things. We talked about potential overuse of cameos and things like that. That was one of those things you kind of the map. It has to be in there.
Yeah.
But do you do it every time? You just do it once, and
only when you got to go a long ways.
Did they do it twice? I think they did it twice.
They did it twice.
They did do it twice.
Yeah,
but it didn't feel overused.
The way this handles nostalgia is just the right amount.
I have one disagreement there. Okay. I think how they use the Indiana Jones theme song was done poorly. I think they use that theme way too often just for like and nostalgia.
I'm cool with it. I like that theme.
It's a good theme.
Play it all the time.
I just don't think
put it on a loop.
I just don't think it needs to play when you're arriving at a city in a
That's because you don't have a dope theme song that follows you around.
When they're traveling by map?
No, it's after the map bit. It's like they get to North Africa and then they're pulling up into the city with he's just in a car. It's not even, it's just a shot of a car and they're playing the theme song. I'm like,
well, you got to know the Indy's in the car.
You can.
You're just mad because you don't have a dope theme song.
I don't have a dope theme. Please, will someone out there write me a dope theme song?
No. Suck it.
Will someone who's Indiana Jones listening or watching this make me a dope theme song so I can shove it in Luke's face?
I do have a con.
I don't believe you.
More so a nitpick than a con, though. And it's kind of what Luke was alluding to earlier about Helena.
Mm-hmm.
I for the first 2/3 of this movie, I just feel like she's annoyingly dumb. Like Indy is telling you the entire time, and you're just like, nope, 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 nope. I'm gonna keep making the wrong choice. I'm gonna keep making the wrong choice. I was like, God, right thing one time, one time, or at least think about it. And
Yeah.
it was just driving me nuts. Driving me nuts.
That's fair.
But obviously, third act much better.
Mm-hmm.
But golly, it irritated me.
Other pros, cons.
What do I got? There's a scene on a boat. It's more of an emotional scene that I very much loved.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say that.
Yeah, it was really
It
good.
might be a spoiler. I won't say what the conversation is about.
That's fair.
So,
Yeah.
but I just liked the conversation.
No,
And
I
the
think
delivery of it.
I think as
was
soon
really
as
good
we
too.
hit the second act, I'm really on board in terms of like
Once for me, it's when Antonio Banderas shows up. I feel like the movie is just awesome.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because there's the market scene or not the black market scene before that, and that has still some of what you were talking about with Helena. It's featured pretty heavily in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything by saying that that's in there. But I can see that. Yeah, I was okay with it because we got introduced to the boy. That was kind of fun, and I guess it was another kind of chase scene.
Which one?
The chase.
Post black market.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, there's so many chase scenes. I don't even know which one you're talking about. Lots of chase scenes.
Yep.
But yeah, I would agree. When Antonio Banderas shows up, like
Indy!
it really like
10 out of 10 from there on.
it takes off from that point.
Yeah.
Antonio Banderas is great. Really
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yep.
Liked him a lot.
Yeah, I don't think there's.
He redeemed that terrible Uncharted movie by joining a better version of it.
That's right.
The OG.
That's right.
Any final thoughts before we give our ratings and jump to spoilers?
Spoil away, baby.
My rating is fanboy worthy.
Oh, yeah, we gotta give rating. I was so excited to spoil stuff, man.
I can see that.
I also give it a fanboy worthy.
I'm gonna give it a Matthew McConaughey. I think the second and third act are really strong. The third act maybe tries to do too much, but it is kind
Awesome.
of. It is kind of. It's the goodbye
Heck yeah.
to Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
They've been pretty upfront about that, and so it's doing a lot of that like emotional, like we're trying to wrap up his story, and so there's just a lot that goes on besides the plot.
Until Disney needs money in 10 years and they're like, we're gonna remake this as a Disney Plus show.
And
Rated
we're gonna,
G.
And we're gonna cast 90-year-old Harrison Ford in it. He's coming back.
We're
No
resurrecting him.
cameo in it, yeah.
But other than that, I think the intro, the prologue, and Act 1 of this movie are maybe just a little too slow of a start for me. Ultimately, it was enjoyable though, so it's a high Matthew McConaughey.
Nice.
Nice. Now let's spoil stuff.
All right,
now
gents,
talking
spoil
spoilers.
away. Wait. Yeah.
Okay, now go, Tyler.
We have to rank the Indiana Jones films, but we can do that after spoilers.
1, 2, 3, 5, 4.
Okay, we're gonna rank the Indiana Jones movies.
Is that a hot take of putting 2 before 3? I don't know.
You said 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 5, 4. I think Temple of Doom is so awesome because it is so different.
That's fair. That's
I don't
fair.
even really need to think about it. Like I saw it on your little thing, and I was like, "Yeah, it's
Man. Okay.
1, 2, 3."
Oh, you have Temple of Doom above Last Crusade too?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna rewatch them.
I'm gonna
after this,
I'm
though.
gonna go. Oh man. I maybe nostalgia, because I think the one I remember the most growing up
4, 5
was Last Crusade.
2, 3, 1.
So I
for
think
you,
it's
obviously. No.
I think for me it's 3, 1, 2, 5-4. Yeah. Okay, there we go. We ranked it.
Yay. We've done it. Podcast over.
We
Goodbye.
did the thing.
Spoil away, boys. Spoil away.
Really, I guess the big spoiler...
Should we just talk about the giant spoiler?
I was gonna say,
of
the
this
giant
movie?
spoiler is that the dial allows them to find fissures in time and travel through time. So it's a time travel movie, which they're very upfront about from the beginning of this film. It takes 15, 20 minutes, and they're like, you can go to a different point in time. And you're like, what?
And everyone's kind of like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But, like, you should know that that's what they're going to do.
They're going to do the thing that they're saying they're going to do the entire movie. And they do it.
Especially when in the trailer, Harrison Ford's like, I've seen a lot of things in my life. It's not about what you believe as much as that you believe in it.
How hard you believe in it, yeah.
It's like, okay, so they're using that to just do whatever they want. So it's going to be time travel. I really like it, actually. I think it's kind of a weird implementation with the, like, fissure in the sky and we're going to fly a plane through it. But at the same time, it works really well with Archimedes then seeing, like, the phoenix and tying it into...
Dude, I loved that they called them dragons.
The dragon.
I really liked how they actually couldn't control on when they time traveled to.
Mm-hmm.
They just went through the hole.
Yep.
And, like, the Nazi boy was like, we're going back to the beginning of the war, and I can't remember what he's actually trying to do. It's evil
He was
piece of
gonna-
crap.
He's
so-
gonna kill Hitler.
Kill Hitler and
then-
take over.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
Was
Horrible
his
person.
plan.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Because Hitler was the reason they lost the war.
But yeah, that they went through the time portal and they had no choice where to really go. It just took them to that point in time. The dial just told them where to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really like that. When they were doing time travel, I did think they're like, okay, they're gonna go back to before when the Indiana Jones movie starts, and he's gonna be back in the original timeline or whatever, and he's gonna stay there. And like, I don't know, maybe like hang out with his mom or save his dad or something, or like he talks about saving Mutt, and
Yeah.
but yeah, they go to ancient Greece, and I'm just like, whoa. And then my other favorite part about it is the reaction that everybody has when they pop out and they're just like, yeah, we're back in Germany or Sicily, 1939 or whatever. And they look down and they see boats and sails and trebuchets and just like, oh no, this is not good. And like, nobody's just like, wow, we time travel. It's just like panic in everybody. Boyd Holbrook's just like, fuck it.
That's the part that killed
shooting
me.
everybody.
He's got like an assault rifle, like an M60 out of the top of this plane. Just. And could you
Did not hesitate to start to light people up.
But that's what I was talking about. The whole movie, he's that way.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's so on brand that you're just like, oh yeah, no, that's exactly what he.
Oh,
would
we're
do.
not in a good spot. I should probably shoot everybody.
Oh, a spear
No
hit my
witnesses!
plane. Yeah, shoot my way out of it. And I was like, yeah, it's believable.
Yep.
I'm on board. I also love that they ended up getting to the ground and meeting Archimedes, and I thought it was cool.
I think
like,
it was
this is so unique.
It was also a really clever way of tying in, like, why do they go back to that moment? Because Archimedes hopes he built this thing
In hopes that
someone
find
could
them.
turn the tide of this battle for
Yeah.
them. I think that's super clever
Mm-hmm.
and an excellent way of, like, here's how we can guarantee they get back to that moment. In the story wise, it's not just random, and it gives you the illusion of control, like the whole idea of the dial being like a thing that you control. That now you have the power. You can
I've got the power.
fake out. Actually, you're just going to go back, and Archimedes hopes you're on his side.
Yeah. I thought
Thankfully, Indy was there anyway.
The watch thing's cool.
Yeah.
Like I was
The
like,
moment they
let's see.
show the watch,
That's
it's just like,
yeah.
I thought it was going to be Indy's watch.
Yeah. I did kind of too.
Yeah, it was the evil Nazi man.
Maybe one of my favorite parts of this movie, I probably could have mentioned it in non-spoilers, but just the like kind of the second act archaeological stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever he's
when he's
solving
digging
puzzles,
Yeah.
going into wrecked ships looking for things, like that's peak Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I said earlier, first half to second half.
Yeah. And then by the time you get around to the second half or the end of the second act, into the third act, we get more of that like Indy across the table from the bad guy. I think that's some of the best stuff in like Temple of Doom, for example, is like that dinner scene where it's like it's kind of this cat and mouse with like Indy knows something's not right, but like trying to outsmart whoever he thinks the bad guy is, or who has the stone. And in here, it's like there's the boat scene specifically where it's less Indy and it's more Helena, but it's how are we gonna outsmart the villains who are in control of the situation right now?
Mm-hmm.
TNT, dynamite.
Yep. Kaboom. That kind of also going off that. I really appreciated the comment Indy made after Antonio Banderas died.
Yes.
Where Helena's like, "Oh, that was close," and he's like, "You, my friend, just died."
Yeah.
Like, not the time.
Yeah.
Very much appreciated commentary. I'll speak now, I guess, too, on the boat thing I talked about in non-spoilers. I loved how they dealt with Mutt in this movie. I think it's really well done. Where, like, the reason that he kind of is the way he is now is because his son got mad at him, signed up to go to war, and died.
Yeah.
And it kind of just made his life fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
His acting there when he's talking to on Phoebe Waller-Bridge was so good. I was like, dang, man, you're bringing it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when that moment was my Harrison Ford still got this moment. Like he can still do this. Because
when Harrison Ford cares, man, he can cook.
He just has to care.
He just has to care.
That's the hard part.
Getting him to that point can sometimes be tough.
He is funny in interviews.
I love it.
What did you guys think about we got to Sicily. We did the time travel thing. There was a moment where he wants to stay. How do we feel about bringing him back and then bringing back some another previous cast member?
I liked it. I thought it was super sweet. I thought it was a nice. That's one of the ending bits that I really liked.
It's a good send-off for Indy.
Yeah.
Like, man, if they would have just been like, okay, yeah, you can stay here and you're going to become an archaeological dig site as well. Like, we're going to look for your bones. It's kind of like...
That's your sequel bait, right? Like, it's like, oh,
that's the spinoff with Helena Shaw, yeah.
Like, that's what it becomes.
Helena Shaw in the search for Godfather Indy's brittle bones.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a long title, I know. I'll work on it.
I think it works.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I liked it too. I think saving her for the end was why can't I remember her name? Not Maria.
Karen Allen?
Yeah.
Marion.
Seeing it Maria. Marion.
Maria.
Knowing that she's not dead earlier in the movie, at some point we learn that Mutt is dead, right? And so, like, knowing she's not dead, like, there's this little bit of, like, okay, yeah, she's probably gonna be in here somewhere. But
the bit where he's just throws the magnet on her face was so funny. And then when she pops up, he's like, fantastic.
I'm not sure that those two have a ton of chemistry, but knowing the scene still works. Mm-hmm. The scene still works. It was a nice.
I liked their little goodbye talk too. How Didn't hurt here. Didn't hurt here. It's like their first scene.
Romantic encounter. Well, not their supposedly first.
No comment. The first one we see.
Sure. The first.
The
one.
rekindling.
So, overall, really good. I liked it. Any other spoilery things that you guys want to talk about? I think I've
I don't think so.
hit on mine.
Snakes.
Oh,
See,
they look like snakes.
No, they don't. Super creative. Big fan of that. Also, I got the heebie-jeebies when they had all the bugs on them. If those were real or prosthetics or CGI, good work.
That was a nice.
That was gross.
It was a nice. So one of the things the newer Indiana Jones have stayed away from was some of those more horror-esque elements of the first three, and that I think the bugs are kind of an easy but nice middle ground. That's creepy. It's kind of but like it's not scary, frightening like.
It's just I don't
your
like
face
that.
melting kind of shot, right? So
Yeah.
It makes it a little more digestible for a wider audience, for a younger audience.
Mm-hmm.
But it still kind of has that feel.
That
like,
being said, a little disappointing that the movie isn't pushing the edge of a PG-13.
Yeah, oh, very much not. Yeah.
There's not really a lot of blood. The old movies have lots of blood splatter. And then also the villains just die in a plane crash.
Yeah.
They don't really go out in style, which is it's fine.
I mean, shooting a M60 at Roman soldiers is a pretty stylish way to go.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also just whereas like I think of like Last Crusade where the guy's in the tank and he falls off. You watch the tank fall and they put a mannequin or a dummy in the top of the tank and you just watch it fall and crush him and you watch it ragdoll all around and it's like, wow, that is violent. And I don't know, it's just
Again,
kinda disappointing.
it's been toned down to make it more
gosh dang it, Disney, you cowards.
Disney-fied. So
Maybe
I would
Disney
agree.
will
I would
sell
agree that
Lucasfilm.
that's maybe a minor disappointment. I can get on board with that. Okay. These guys gave it fanboy worthy. I gave it Matthew McConaughey. Look, if you like Indiana Jones, you'll probably enjoy this for the most part.
Yeah. You said you liked it more than 4?
Yeah.
You don't like 4? I like 4.
I need to rewatch 4, but
Maybe you'll be a little more forgiving.
I may be a little more forgiving now, but even still, I don't see it being better than this in my mind. Who knows? I could be changed.
Oh, it's not better than this. I can confirm.
I don't.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So yeah, go. It didn't do fantastic opening weekend. We're here filming on recording on July 3. So it could have a better kind of extended weekend with the holiday. Even still, an immensely expensive movie. Almost $300 million to make this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why the number's that high, other than COVID, but even still. Yeah, $295 million.
Chump change.
It could be a real rough summer for the box office.
Yeah.
The next 3 weeks will be very telling. So, all right.
If everything is low, can we just stop talking about how everything is bombing?
No, I think that does need to be a conversation. We do need to talk at some point about like what are realistic expectations for movies.
Now, yeah.
You know, I'm not sure you can expect as many to hit those, $500-600 million marks. You're gonna still probably get 1 or 2 a year that hit $1 billion. You're gonna have the surprises like this year with Mario Brothers. I don't think anyone was like,
The surprise-
"This is a $1 billion movie."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a good opportunity to talk about expectations and whether or not a movie is bombing or actually it's performing right. You spent too much money on it. It was too expensive. Not that it did poorly. You just overspent.
Its opening weekend numbers are, with inflation, what the first movie cost to make.
Yeah. Crazy. So, anyways, look forward to hearing from any of our listeners if they've seen Dial of Destiny, what their thoughts are.
Heck yeah.
Hit us up on Twitter or Instagram or email us at whatthefanboy@gmail.com.
Are you getting annoyed that I'm doing the thing?
Can move into news now. Yeah, we're past it, Luke. We're done with Indiana Jones. You shouldn't be playing the theme.
Okay, sorry.
What do you guys got news-wise?
Okay.
I know Tyler's got a big one. He's got one that he's hyped about.
I do.
Are you serious, Clark?
No.
I was like, no way.
I didn't know we were gonna start with that, but
It was a Tuesday news story.
That's true.
It was the day after we recorded.
So we got our
It was
Superman
like
and
12
Lois.
hours after we recorded.
Yeah.
We got our Superman and Lois casting. David Corn Sweat will be Clark Kent Superman, and Rachel Brosnahan will be Lois.
Let's go!
Which I think is kind of like the exact scenario we had kind of hoped for. Like
Yeah.
when Brosnahan's name was brought up, you were like, "Oh, I hope it's her."
Well, I think it's been weird because whenever we've talked about this, is like we'll finish seeing movies and we'll hang out in the parking lot for hours just talking.
Yeah, happens a lot.
Truth.
Usually every time.
Mm.
But it was like right after it was rumored, and you were super pumped about David Corn Sweat.
Yeah,
You've seen him stuff. You have talked about him before, and you were excited about Rachel Brosnahan. But I was the opposite, where I was super, super excited for Rachel Brosnahan because I've seen her in Mrs. Maisel, and she's freaking fantastic. And I have never seen David Corn Sweat in anything. So I was just like, sure, great.
he's. I think the best thing I've seen him in is Hollywood, and that's because he's the lead in that. Like, so it's about him, right? And others, but he's a big part of the story, and it's set like in the 50s, I believe. It's been a few years. I mean, I told Dana about Corn Sweat like after I watched that in 3 years ago, I guess now, and I really liked him in it, but it's set in the 50s, and so you kind of get this weird, has that 50s vibe, right? And like that's kind of how Clark is, yeah. Like,
yeah.
That's the Clark you kind of envision, and so if you're curious about Corn Sweat, if maybe you're on the fence about Corn Sweat, like go watch Hollywood. It's a really good show for one, and two, he's just awesome in it. He's really good, and like it's a Ryan Murphy project. So if you like all of other Ryan Murphy things, yeah, if you like Ryan Murphy stuff, you're gonna like this. Really good. But yeah, it gets me a prediction for the year.
That's right.
Too. So
right.
I had predicted Corn Sweat would get the role, and he lands it. So
I think you have 3 points right now. Piece of crap.
I
I have 0. I'm gonna get 0
I
predictions.
think I have 2 points.
got Starfield getting delayed to Q3 and Corn Sweat as Superman.
This freaking guy just nailing everything.
Oh, and Barbie making more at the box office than Black Adam seems like a pretty good prediction right now too.
Does it?
Well, I guess that's true. That's true.
Luke and I had a very lengthy conversation about
We were deep diving into budgets and
Box
box
office.
office. It was kind of fun.
for the next 4
we were
weeks.
like little.
that
little
could be our
detectives.
a little sideshow.
Yeah.
Box office with Brett and Luke.
There you go.
Long title.
Too long, probably.
Gotta cut that down.
Indiana Jones and the box office breakdown. There's the next one.
Yes. In other casting news, Evan Peters is joining Jared Leto on Tron 3.
Darn, I was hoping you were gonna say he was replacing him.
I know.
Didn't somebody else join too? A girl?
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Tyler's
Can't
got
remember
it.
who it is. Oh, I don't.
Olivia Wilde is back.
With her relationship drama.
Oh, even better.
That's exactly. Olivia Wilde is actually listed on here.
She'll probably make.
Greta Lee.
Greta, yeah.
She's from that new movie that a lot of people are talking about. It's called Past Lives.
Jodie Turner Smith. Well, was.
Oh, why does Jared Leto have to be in it? I get so excited for that, and then I remember it's Jared Leto. Just kills all my vibes.
Yeah, sorry.
You're gonna love him.
We'll
Luke,
see.
Luke, you want to tell us about another big announcement that just
Another
came
franchise
out today?
announcement? Yeah. Netflix decided to finally talk about, or somebody, talk about Narnia, something they've had
You
in
said
their
something like about it 2 weeks ago.
For
I
like
think.
4 years, they've
Yeah.
had
longer.
6 years.
They got
5
it
years?
before COVID.
2018
It's
at
a
least.
long time ago.
So-
They've had the rights to Narnia forever.
and they haven't done jack with it yet.
They bought the Avatar stuff after, and we know more about the live action Avatar. Anyway, we're getting 2 Narnia films from Greta Gerwig. Not the name I expected,
Yeah.
but it's the name that I will appreciate because she's good at making movies, and I'm curious what her Narnia films will look like.
Agreed. I think, and because there's no confirmation that this is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, there's a good chance one of them. She's signed up for 2 supposedly.
I feel like it would be Wardrobe and Caspian because they're right next to each other.
But you know what I would love from her? I would love The Horse and His Boy from her. It's one that's never gonna get a movie, but it absolutely deserves it, and she is good with character. And I think she could do Caspian great. I think Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe just has such a...
Everybody knows about that one.
It's she could do something interesting with it, I suppose. She would. Absolutely, 100%. She would do something interesting with it. But I don't see her as a ensemble director as much as she
Little Women?
is.
Boom, roasted.
It's not as good as Lady Bird. I think
Yeah, but she did it.
she did it. Okay,
It
fine.
was good.
Fine, she did it.
Making it sound like she's bad at it.
No, I know. I'm just shooting for those books that we've never seen turned into movies.
I think
Turn them into a movie. Come on,
I-
you coward.
listen-
Netflix has to go with the sure thing.
The magician's nephew deserves to be seen.
the 2 that will not start it, I'm pretty sure. I don't see them starting it not on Wardrobe. Because you have to bring people in like, oh yeah, Narnia's here.
Yeah.
If the magician nephew pops up, people are going to be like,
What's this?
what is this?
Dude, I don't remember.
They're going to be
these
talking about
books, like, at
Jadis. And there are people are going to be like, who's that? It's the White Witch. And same with Horse and His Boy. Like, I think you can do it, but I think it'll help if you've met
That's fair.
the brothers and the sisters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when they pop up in Narnia Land, you're not like, what is this story even? Like, it's so different from the rest of the books.
Jade, I think there could be a really interesting way to weave Jadis' story through
The entire thing.
the entire thing, not making her a main character in terms of it's not about her. It's not a anti-hero story now.
Mhm.
But if you introduce her
I mean, she's the devil.
chronologically,
Devil's not an anti-hero.
I think you could do something really interesting. I don't know what that structurally looks like. I probably could not write that. I just think it would be interesting.
Yeah.
All in all, excited about this news.
I
I
just-
really am. I am excited about this news no matter which movie she gets.
I am super curious if this all works out and we eventually make it to the last battle. How do you make it interesting to follow a monkey disguising a donkey as Aslan and like make this political story almost? Like It's
You just gotta get the right director.
It's called The Last Battle, and it's like, what is this? What is this story? It's all the animals in Narnia just like getting conned until giant battle, destruction of the world. Like, it's
Spoilers.
crazy. Yeah, spoilers.
I feel like I'm gonna go through a weird thing where I read these books now.
Guess what? They're extremely short and easy to read. 'Cause
They're very-
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
kids'
very
books.
I read several of them when I was younger, but I don't remember them like at all.
We're talking about the ones that no one remembers.
The ones that people remember are Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, Silverchair. That's it.
Dawn Treader, maybe.
Kind of. People
Yeah.
be like, that's the boat
That's
one,
the boat,
right?
Yeah. It's the boat one.
I think the longest book on Audible is like 4.5 hours long. I listened to them at work. I just went through them all, and it took me like 2 days to get through all of them.
I've got the big old, like, all-in-one book. Like,
It's
book.
like this big.
It's
It's like, the size
It's-
of one Harry
it's
Potter book.
7 books, and it's like the entire Lord of the Rings. Or
Just set it next to the Bible. That's what it's based on.
It's
The same
767 pages.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
totality.
Yeah, for the whole collection.
Yeah. Super easy read.
super
You'll finish that in
super
a day.
digestible.
700? I could finish one of them.
Anyways,
in a
this
day.
has been the Chronicles of Narnia update. Can't wait. Hopefully next week we'll hear about Redwall.
Oh yeah, who has that?
Netflix.
Glad they're just holding it down for us.
They're out here making Gray Man for $300 million and making zero money on it.
Oh my goodness. Do you guys have any other news stories?
I have an old story that I forgot to talk about,
Ooh.
or maybe we did talk about, but I'm going to bring it up because it's sad. Perry Mason was canceled.
Oh yeah.
That is a huge bummer.
Not getting a season 3.
That is a great show. Highly recommend you watch it because it's all out.
Yeah.
Last thing, we don't really have to dive too deep into it, but Deadfist in the chat brought up the game budgets that kind of leaked out through
Yeah.
the
Microsoft,
Microsoft thing. I guess the funny part of this is that Sony doesn't know how to redact documents, I guess.
Dude, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
The person is
great.
so fired.
They sent their documents in and like nothing was redacted properly. So like all the budgets, I guess the trial took everything down that was public because of this.
Oh no.
But in it, like the
Did they redact it with a highlighter?
No. But basically,
Yellow's pretty.
they deleted everything off the public forum so nobody could see anything after this document came in. But the budgets JT's alluding to, there was the Horizon and Last of Us games were north of $200 million budgets.
Can I be honest? Feels low. If I'm being honest. Like, that's
I just don't know.
less money than Dial of Destiny.
I just don't
which is
know
insane
video
to
game
me.
budgets.
Yeah.
So I can't say.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Grand Theft
It's like
Auto
a-
4 costs $100 million.
Like, you
Red
think,
Dead
like,
Redemption was $100 million.
Last of Us Part 2 is like a 20-hour animated movie, essentially. With you controlling it. And, like, an animated movie's, it's only 2 hours, is the same budget or a little less.
Mhm.
Like, that's just wild to me that it's only 200. I would expect it to be up around 500.
I don't know.
Maybe
Like,
I just
Red Dead was 100.
maybe I just oh my gosh, maybe I just don't understand
That's what I'm
how
saying.
easy it is to make a video game.
well,
Y'all
I
are
don't think
slacking.
I don't think it's
You should be
easy.
crunched harder. No.
You're just not paying talent. Like, you're not paying actors $50 million salaries. You're paying some kid who's fresh out of college $30,000 a year.
Did you see the cast for Death Stranding? I did.
I wonder what that budget is, though. Like, it's,
Oh, true. Look it up. Will they even say?
No.
It was a PS exclusive.
$10 million.
There's no way that game only cost $10 million.
That game is so huge and so beautiful. That was probably what they paid the dude. I don't remember his name. Daryl Dixon.
Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
Probably. So yeah, video game budgets are big. I think the last 10 years in both movies and games, and I think we caveat that, and maybe also TV. There has been an explosion, and the disparity between what like AAA projects can afford or are spending versus what, you know, double A or like what they maybe used to cost to make. Like everyone just expects so much higher, and so they're willing to put in more money because they think they'll be able to make that back. I think video games for the most part do.
Especially the ones they mention.
But it's why it's why double A games are often these days getting picked up by like Xbox and getting thrown straight into Game Pass, because there's no way that, I mean, I don't know what the budget of what was their vampire game?
Redfall.
$20
maybe. Boom, roasted.
Boom, got him. But there was no way that was going to make back its money, being released as it did, and if it was going to take another year of production to get that to a proper place, that's that much more money.
Yeah, just make the balloon even.
Yeah, and so then your sales have to be even better, and so it's a little bit of a good inside baseball look at, you know, why games as services have really popped up, because it's a more consistent source of revenue for developers and publishers. I'm not saying that that's a great overall solution to the current crisis, or crisis is maybe a strong word, but that disparity of what does a AAA game cost versus what a AA or a single A game, indie game costs.
Out here,
lots of business things.
Exposing my naivete about what goes into making a video game.
Yeah.
I just assume they're spending billions to make billions.
Yeah, that's the thing. You sell them for that much, they make a lot of money.
They do. You're thinking about.
And then you had microtransactions.
Yeah.
And DLC.
Yep.
Well, I guess Bobby Kotick revealed they had invested $500 million into Destiny over its lifetime.
Yeah.
Into the Eververse?
No.
Just Destiny.
This was
IP.
when Activision had the deal, right?
Yeah.
Like when they first made that deal, it was like a 10-year deal. They were going to invest $500 million over that 10 years, but they actually ended up investing that, I think, that much even earlier.
Yeah.
Just in the 5.
Just in the first
The 4.
however many years they were a part of that. So
yeah.
Apologies if you're listening and you hear fireworks. It is the 3rd of July when we're recording this, and so
there's fireworks outside.
There's fireworks happening outside, and my dog is probably freaking out.
Or he's using with the help.
She does have some trazodone, so hopefully that helps. What'd you guys do this week?
I'm still just reading Fractal Noise.
Is that the prequel?
Yeah. I haven't read it in a few days. We had a 4th of July party, so we were pretty busy getting ready for that. But
excited to get back into it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
It hasn't slowed down to a point. You had some very kind words for Paolini last week, but that has not necessarily changed. Good.
Yeah, it hasn't changed at all. If anything, it's improved. Look, I missed the Paolini train when I was younger, right? I'd always been told, like, Aragon's so great. I was like, it's not Harry Potter. I'm not reading it. It's all I wanted to read when I was younger. But I'm, like, strongly considering going back and reading Aragon. And I know it's probably, I'm a little older than its intended audience, but
that's okay.
I like the way he writes.
Bring out the kid in you.
I like his attention to character development. I think he does a really good job of giving characters motives.
Mm-hmm.
And he does the thing in this book that I always appreciate it, because I feel like it doesn't happen enough, but like the lead scientist on this expedition is a Christian. And it's a first contact story. So the lead scientist's entire worldview is being challenged. And I just find that so good.
That's very interesting.
It's so good. And there's a guy in the expedition team who is not a Christian and doesn't believe in anything, and they just always argue. But those arguments are so entertaining and so interesting because they're so well written. It's just really good. I don't know if this will be a hot take. There's not a lot of book people that probably watch this show, but I think it's way better than To Sleep in a Sea of Stars.
Nice.
By like a huge margin.
Is it the best book ever?
It won't crack my top 5 books, but it's really good.
You don't know how the internet works, man. It's either the best ever or worst.
I know how I work, though.
Well, I appreciate that. Quick little thoughts there. A little update.
I'll probably be done with it by next week.
Nice. I have 2 things I did. The first as, well, I don't know if it was at the beginning of the show or the beginning of TV Talk, but you guys got very hyped about my Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken review.
Yeah. Let's go!
I took my daughter to it on Saturday, and we were 2 of 3 people in the theater.
Oh, yeah!
Woo!
Was the third one Steph?
No, actually, no. We did
Regal employee?
We did a daddy-daughter date. It was like a elderly lady, actually. So
oh, nice.
Still not even target audience, I don't think. But look, this is a pretty generic DreamWorks coming of age story. It's got all of the standard pieces. It really doesn't do anything new to shake the boat. I guess there's a pun there I didn't intend.
Boo. That's a show.
That's
Goodbye.
That's it. I'm out. I'm done.
I was responding to Lepke.
Oh.
He's asking if he should watch Secret Invasion. And he said, thumbs up or thumbs down, should I watch it? And I did.
Oh, yeah, Lepke, I would hold off until the whole thing's out, and then you can know if it's worth it. In terms of
Teenage Kraken,
should you watch it? I think if you've got a, 6 to 10-year-old, they would probably enjoy it. Claire had a great time. She enjoyed the visuals. It's a fun movie. It doesn't get too heavy on itself. I wouldn't say it really has that much of a message for adults. A little bit in terms of parenting advice, but again, it's pretty standard stuff. It looks pretty good, DreamWorks wise. It's not doing anything as unique as like Spider-Verse or Puss in Boots.
Puss.
Yes.
In Boots.
Puss in Boots.
No. Say it right. In Boots.
But it still looks good. And it was pretty fun. I'm gonna give it a straight to streaming. I would probably recommend this only to people who have a child of a very specific age.
Kid wants to watch a movie and you want to take a nap.
Yeah. That said, it didn't bore me either.
But it is but it's a good opportunity to take.
But a good opportunity if your child needs to be in front of a screen and you need to take a nap, go to the theater together. That's probably bad parenting advice. Don't do that. Don't listen to me.
Parenting exposed.
Yes, JT, you are of the correct age to go see that. So definitely a recommendation for you. The other thing I finished this week, Luke did as well. Silo over on Apple TV Plus. I've talked for a little bit. Luke, why don't you start us off with our Silo review?
Man, we haven't talked about this, I feel like, since we first...
Since like
couple
episode
episodes.
3 or 4.
Yeah. This show is awesome. It's a great mystery. Great set design. Great performances. Rebecca Ferguson is awesome. I was really impressed with Common.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's really good.
Yeah,
everybody's good.
Near the beginning of the series, Common's in it pretty sparingly, and I was concerned because I didn't really love what I was getting. But it's mostly just they're trying to keep him mysterious, and by the time he actually does get decent amount of screen time, he is good. Mm-hmm. He's good.
Yeah,
he gets to really show some emotional range near the last 2 episodes, and it's quite enjoyable.
Yep. You will not get all your questions answered except for one.
Luke looks at me because he knows that that's.
I know it's a
that's
complaint you
complaint.
have. But season 2 is announced. It's happening.
Yep.
And I can't wait to learn more because the reveals like in the last episode are awesome. I think they do a really good job with the mystery of there's twists, but there's also like foreshadowing. I think they do both really well.
There's like this very personal mystery that's intertwined with the larger question, which is like, what is the silo?
Mm-hmm.
And they do a good job of at least giving you
something to chew on.
Well, they give you some answers for that personal story, right? Like why something happened or why a series of events kind of got kicked off. They give you that, and that's very satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
What was less satisfying to me was that they ended on a little bit too much of a cliffhanger, where it's like, hey, we're gonna show you something, and then we're gonna kind of also at the same time do like but this also. And for most people, it seems to have worked. Luke, almost everyone else I've talked to is like, yeah, I really loved that last second twist. And I think I'm just in the minority where it's like it
You wanted more answer.
I just a little more answer. You can still, I think, have some of that mystery, but depending on how much this is, beholden to what the book series is doing. I assume it's fairly close. I haven't read the book series.
The first book's 58 pages.
So it's probably loosely based on...
The second book is 579 pages.
What's the second
one
book
was
called?
essentially
Shift.
a short story, and then they yeah. But,
I think.
there's probably some good payoff there with it being based on something. So I'm going to forgive it and say that it's still a very excellent show, and I really did enjoy it. I just had a little bit of a bittersweet taste at the very end.
Mm-hmm. I loved it. The twist happened at the end. I was just like, no, tell me more. It's like like it's for you. It's no, tell me more. For me,
yeah.
It's, no, tell me more. Yeah. Like,
disregard. The first book's 592 pages.
What the heck did
I don't
you
know what
read?
that other thing was. It's the same author. Maybe it was the short.
Hey,
did
it also come out in 2022?
Is this a prequel to The Baker?
Is it The Baker?
The Baker
in general?
Yeah, obviously.
Dude, I'm gonna buy this book tonight. It's $2 on Kindle.
Talking about Luke mentioned set design.
I have it.
This is a movie. This is a show that takes 98% of the show takes place underground, and it never, except when it really wants to, it never feels claustrophobic. That's like they do a fantastic job of it still feeling
like a giant
spacious
underground tower.
Yeah.
Like it's probably like 2 sets.
Yeah.
And then there's a stair that they use sometimes, and they just record him going up it.
Yep.
The same one every time, but they use the space so well.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like this giant tower underground.
Yep, and after a while, they kind of show you some of the, like, back alleyways, and, again, it's not this, like, ever a real wide shot, because there's just not the space to do that, but it makes it feel a little more expansive than what you would expect, and it feels really good.
I love what they do in, I think it's, like, episode 3 or something, where she's like, I need to go to the Down Deep, can I have the next couple days off?
Yeah.
Because it takes the whole day to walk down the stairs and get there.
Yeah. It's like 150 some 60 some levels.
And a rule I don't think it's a spoiler. One of the rules of the silo is you're not allowed to use pulleys or lifts.
Yep.
It's one of the rules in the pact of the silo. Nobody knows where the silo came from.
Oh. But yeah.
Awesome show. I give it a booyah.
I give it a booyah as well.
Yep. Freaking great stuff. Can't wait for season 2.
Definitely recommend it, especially if you enjoy kind of those sci-fi things. So, that's all I did this week. Luke, did you do anything else you want to talk about?
I did do a couple things. I'll just say this real quick. Jack Ryan season 4 is out. The first 2 episodes. So I'm watching that.
Nice.
First 2 episodes are good. I'll come back later when I finish it. The other two things that I did was I watched the new DC animated movie, Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham.
Oh yeah.
This is Batman mixed with H.P. Lovecraft.
Ooh.
So this is
So
like
it's
one of the side movies.
yeah, it's an Elseworld. Yeah, it's super weird, based on the comic of the same name. I've never read the comic, so I can't really compare it. I don't know if they ruined stuff.
Did you watch
Or,
it
like,
on
did that-
HBO?
Yeah.
Or on Max?
Yeah, HBO. I really like the animation. I think the world they created is super cool. I really had a great time with it.
Nice.
I do like it when the Elseworlds get super weird. I think one of my favorite Elseworlds is Gods and Monsters, which is just nothing like any DC comic that you've read for those characters. And this is kind of the same, where it's like, yeah, he's Batman, he's wearing a bat suit, but like, if everything's a monster and gross, and you're trying to figure out where these tentacle monster Cthulhu things are coming to destroy Gotham, and it's super crazy. If you're into the DC movies, I think you'll like it. So I give it a fanboy worthy.
Nice.
The other thing that I did, and this is a big majority of what I've been doing over the past couple weeks, was I've been replaying Control.
Yeah.
The game that Brett refuses to beat.
It's good. Just haven't beat it yet.
It is an awesome game, but I gotta tell you, it is an absolute shame that Remedy never patched stuff in that game. There is so many bugs, and it is so annoying to get to an essential cutscene and just have no dialogue, no music, no sound effects, because none of the audio comes through, and you're just watching subtitles to try and get context for all these ridiculous things that you're doing. It's just like, wow, that killed the vibe. Or like you'll find an audio log and you'll listen to it and you'll just be sitting there and there's no audio. It's like,
oh no.
it's like, fine, I'm just not even gonna stand here. It's like, what's the point?
Did you already beat it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
You have to play through one of the coolest gaming moments ever. Again.
the maze,
Yeah.
dude. I forgot how awesome that
Dude, it's
Ashtray
so great.
Maze is.
I went back and played
this
it.
song is so cool.
I went back and played it last year because my brother came over. And I was like, dude, I gotta show you this. And I showed it to him, and he was like, what? Like, he was going nuts. It's so cool. One of the coolest gaming memories ever.
Yeah. Awesome game. I did do new stuff with it, though. I played both of the DLCs.
Oh, nice.
So the Foundation and the Alan Wake expansion. Foundation expansion, I'll start with that, because you've played it.
Yes.
Super cool.
Yep.
Had a great time with it. Do not like the new enemies that just teleport and whack you.
Oof.
I hate teleporting enemies, which is very frustrating as a Destiny player. But yeah, they do that a lot, and they just whoop, 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 and they kill me. It's like, oh my gosh, I gotta walk so far. But yeah, the story of you like trying to fix all that stuff is super crazy.
Yeah.
And, like, you kind of figure out who the board are, maybe. You like talk to that monster. I was just like, this is crazy.
That game gets continuously more crazy as like the more you play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Foundation DLC is good. The Alan Wake DLC is great.
And I've not finished that.
It is awesome. Whereas the Foundation is like, hey, here's a new area. Go like fly around and kill the bad guys and fix stuff. Alan Wake has like totally different mechanics. Because if you stand in the dark, your energy doesn't refill. It drains. So you gotta stand in the light and you gotta keep throwing boxes to turn on lights. You gotta carry lights around with you to shine areas and destroy darkness covering doors and stuff. And like the main bad guy, the boss fight is nuts. Because the lights keep going out and he just one-shots you. If you're in the dark, he just grabs you and kills you. It's like, oh my gosh, I gotta The boss fight is nuts. It was super impressive. It also, I'm pretty sure, I haven't played Alan Wake 1, but I'm pretty sure the entire DLC is just like a prequel to Alan Wake 2. Does Alan Wake 2, do we know if it takes place in a place called Bright Falls?
Bright Falls is the...
Or is that where he is in the first game?
That's where you're on the first game, but it's also where I think the cop will be in the second game.
Okay. Because he's like...
Because Alan Wake 1 is technically the first Altered World event.
Yeah. Okay. He's writing his thing and he's talking about you. And I'm just curious, like...
That's how Alan Wake 2 is going to operate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what that is.
It's exactly like the trailer.
Yeah.
Where he's got his long hair and he's got like his hoodie. He's just like, oh, I was writing this stuff. And
yeah, he like pops up on your screen. He's like kind of like fading in and out. And
yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. I played the beginning of it and then I just didn't have time to keep playing. I can't remember what came out.
And he's like mentioning names too. And I'm just like, I feel like I should remember these names. Even though I haven't played Alan Wake 1, I'm going to play 2.
Do you find him in the DLC ever?
No.
Okay.
Spoilers. You'll go to the Ocean View Hotel and you like open a hotel room and it gives you a cutscene and Fane is just like, what the freaking crap was that? Like, who the heck is this Wake guy? He's a nut. And like you meet a film director that like does the same thing as Alan Wake. He's, like talking to all these weird creative people that have powers or something.
Dude.
Maybe I didn't even fully understand, but I had so much fun playing that DLC. You get a grenade launcher.
Ooh. Well, that's cool. Nice.
That was one kind of disappointing thing about Foundation. They give you 2 new powers, but it's like, oh, it only works down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, make a bridge here, where it tells you to. Shoot this glass with your gun. Like, okay. Like, I think it would have been cool to put in a new ability, but
yeah.
Awesome game.
Glad you enjoyed.
Needs to be a show.
Yeah.
Apple should get it. They're good at weird
Luke,
stuff
anything
like that.
else? We had one Fanbox question
I don't think so.
from Game Lord Master over in the chat.
Chill.
He's trying to phrase this question to avoid spoilers. Do you think we stay with the female sheriff as the main character in season 2, or do we focus on someone else?
For Silo?
For Silo. Sorry, yeah, we're talking about Silo now.
Oh, I was like, what?
Sorry, back to Silo. Do we stay with the kind of who ends up being the lead character?
I think we will still be with our lead. And we will be unraveling the mystery even deeper out there. While, for instance, like, we'll follow Paul in current. Yes, yes.
I
would
agree.
still follow that character.
I think we'll end up following multiple characters throughout the series, and I think there'll be characters we already know. So, yeah.
I mean, I've got all kinds of predictions that I don't really want to say on air.
Yeah, it's a good call. Good call.
I'll talk with Brett.
We'll have a convo after. Well, great. If that's it, thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Happy 3rd/4th of July for our U.S. listeners. Be safe. Don't lose any fingers.
If you have a firecracker, throw it.
Yeah, get rid of it. Get rid of it after you've...
Why are you listening to this podcast and holding a firecracker? First of all.
Don't do that. But for those of you who are listening past the 4th or 5th or watching it on YouTube, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll be back soon. See ya.